Hi guys, Brooke from Snuggly Fox Designs here. Today we're going to be talking about how I made these African dolls. So first, what I did was the doll body. I did the head and the neck in brown, and I did the body, the rest of the body in this purple. The base of the arms for the hand is brown, and then the rest is purple. And then obviously brown for the ears. Now this, I used my Maddie doll pattern for these, and I'll have the link in the description below, and I'll have, you know, exactly what rows to change for what colors and everything. And let's just talk about the dress for a minute here. So after I had the doll body done, I chained, I believe it was 30 in the dark purple. And then in the light purple, I did 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet all the way around. And then for the next row, I did 2 double crochets, double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochets, you know, repeat that all the way around. The next row I did, I had to make the dress a certain length, obviously. So some of these rows are half double crochet and some of them are double crochet. The first one was half double crochet. So I did half double crochet 4 stitches and then 2 front post double crochets. Now the double crochets because it just makes it longer there. And then I repeated that pattern, 4 half double crochets, 2 front post double crochets. Now for the next row I did double crochet. So 4 double crochets, 2 front post double crochets, 4 double crochets, 2 front post double crochets, and repeated that all the way around. Now I did the same thing for double crochets for the next 2 rows in light purple, double crochets for the next 2 rows in dark purple, and then I did the half double crochets for the next 2 rows in light purple. And that will give you your dress. And then once you've made the dress, then you just sew it on to the doll body right there. Okay, so now let's talk about the hair. So I made several of these fun pieces. And I looked up how to make an I-cord, and it was just taking a little bit longer than I was wanting. So I actually came up with my own way to make these. And I like it because it kind of like naturally twists. So kind of like the hair would actually do. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But let's talk about these flowers for just a minute. I used an E-hook. And I have the pattern in the description down below for these. So I made 3 in white, which of course you can make however many you want. I made 4 in white. There's the other one. And I made 3 in the light purple, and I made 3 in the dark purple. Now, as you can see, I didn't put it on every single one of the braids because it just made like too many flowers on there. But you can put it on however many you want to. And then I also added a bow to each one right here. And then I also have these braids, 3 of them in the front right there, to be kind of like her little bangs. And I have the ear pattern in the description below also. Okay, so we'll talk about the braids in just a minute. Let's go on and talk about this head wrap right here. Now I have to give major props to my hubby for this because I was having a hard time envisioning how to wrap it around her head and everything. My customer wanted a one piece so the little girl could just slip it off and not have to worry about wrapping it around and everything. So what I did was I made a long rectangular piece. I believe I chained 30. I'll have it in the link below. And then I did 20 rows of half double crochet. Now after that, I put it over her head like this. I bunched up this side and I sewed them together. So I sewed this part right like this together after this was bunched up. And then I brought the end of it, imagine this is the end of your rectangle here, over this way and sewed it to this. So that's why this is kind of bunched up right here as well. And then I did it to the other side. Now after that was done, I turned my rectangle upside down and I attached the yarn right here. And I went all the way around. So as you can see, this is actually the end of my rectangle, and then I'm adding more rows here. So I went all the way around with more half double crochets till I got to this side. And then I chained, I don't remember how many I chained, but I'll put it in the description below. I think it was like 15 or something. Chain 15 just to get it across the face. Slip stitch over here, and then you continue to half double crochet around for like 4 more rows after that. And then you have your headpiece, and see, as you can see, it just slips right off and looks just like that. Oh, and then when I was done, I finished cinching this part, and I sewed that into place so that it looks kind of like, you know, like the traditional headpieces go. They kind of wrap over this way and they have another extra layer down there. So that's what I was wanting that one to look like. Okay, so let's set these aside and we're going to go back and talk about these braids now. So here's my method of doing it. I have a J hook and some cotton yarn here. Now you can definitely do it with any type of yarn you want to, and really any hook you want to. But for this size doll, H hook. For this size doll, my H hook was the best. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 16 here. So let's see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we're going to turn our work. We're going to single crochet in the back bump of the second chain from our hook and in each stitch across. So you keep going on down the line here. And once we get to the bottom of the line, we're going to be working up the other side, and we're going to grab a stitch on each side of our line here in just a minute. Okay, so once you have your whole row of 15 here, what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and you're going to work into this very last stitch right here. This was your last stitch, but you're just going to work in this back loop right there. So you put your hook in that back loop, and then you flip it over, and you can see you have 2 other loops right there, like for your next stitch, and you're just going to work on in this back loop right there. So you put it in that back loop, and then you finish with a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches. So you continue to do this all the way around down the line. So there's your stitch right there. You put it in the back loop. You flip it over, you find your next stitch, you put it in that loop right there, and then you pull it through just like a slip stitch. All right, so we'll do it one more time. You put it in that back loop right there, you twist it over, you put it in that back loop right there, and you pull it through. And you continue this all the way down the line. Okay, so here we are at the very end, and here's our last one here. So we put it in the back loop of that stitch, flip it over, put it in the back loop of that stitch, pull it through all 3 loops to make your slip stitch. Now to finish off, we're going to just stick it in this hole because there's no more stitches on this side. There are kind of like 2 more loops on this side, but there's no more on that side. So what we do is we kind of just stick it through those 2 loops and we slip stitch to join. And there you have your braid. Now you could probably block it to make it stay straight, but I really like the natural look of it. It just curves naturally, and I really like that. As you can see here, I think it just makes the hair look more natural. So what I did was I made 5 braids for this side, 5 braids for this side, 7 braids for down here, and 3 braids for right here, and they're all the same length with the chain 16. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this tutorial this week. Make sure to subscribe so that you can catch next week's tutorial as well. Thanks!